Hello, this is going to be for the sign of Scorpio. So we'll just pull some cards, see what comes out, and go from there, yeah? Hope everybody is doing well. Compromise. And honestly, these readings, I know I don't specify if it's Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, but in all actuality, it's wherever these signs fall for you, in whatever house, you're going to get something wherever it's resonating for you, right? This is a energetic exercise. So, yeah, see what comes out and what resonates for you. I'm going to throw some more cards because they just said to keep going, so I'm going to do that. Releasing. Needing to release. Scorpio, you could be feeling a little like itchy, antsy, uncertain. Challenge, scrutiny, humiliation, survival, surrender, survival, and threat. Is there something that happened currently that is kind of keeping you in that state of being? They just said somebody's like little self is kind of growing. I don't know. Maybe you're mirroring your inner child, or maybe that's something that you've been like working on, right? Is like figuring out how to thread the connection of like the heart-centered connection and the third eye connection, and pulling into your current reality, right? And understanding that there doesn't have to be a compromise when you are heart-centered, like your heart's desires do unfold, right? Your counterpart is obviously leveling up, and they're talking to you through songs. So you may find yourself like listening to the radio, right? And you're in a classical song, and then all of a sudden a regular song will come in, or like a love song will come in, and you'll be like, whoa, wait a minute, and you'll feel the energy behind it, right? It's unmistakable when it's coming from a counterpart, or when it's coming from somebody you love. Like you just, yeah, it's, I mean, obviously I can't, like, what do you want? Yeah, it causes you this like this energy throws you into a state of survival, because it's like you don't know to be passionate, or to be angry, or to be upset, or to be protective. Like it's like a gamut of emotions, like when you're in this person's energetic frequency. I knew that was coming out. Sorry, guys. Yeah. I mean, you got twin flame on the board twice, right? And remember, like a 33 is looking for a 33. If you've never heard that before, know that is a thing. I'm not going to get onto it here, but it is very imperative that you are looking for a counterpart that has the same number sequence, but also is a vibrational match. So you're looking for the needle in the haystack, FYI. You're welcome. And I know you know that because you've been single for a long time. So, yeah. It's literally finding the missing link, missing puzzle. But but it's undeniable. Like, once you find it, and you're going to have to surrender the process, right? There's a new beginning coming. And, what? They just said vivacious virility. I don't know. Does that mean strong libido? Possibly. There's gonna be something that is gonna challenge you, or it's going to... Here's the thing, right? And I'm gonna tell you this. If there is a push and pull, like, then it's not your person. Plain and simple. If the person, like, freaks out and then jets, but, like, there was no anger, there was no animosity, but, like, when it ended, you said, I see you, I know who you are, but I allow you to go and process and do whatever you need to do so that your evolvement happens. And if you come back to me, then it's meant to be. Cool. And if it's not, that's okay too, right? And I'm getting somebody did that, and it was the hardest thing that somebody had to do because there was no emotion. It's almost like you met a catalyst that was a pretend twin, that somebody told you, oh, you're going to marry this person, right? But it was essentially a dark energy. That's, again, this is what they're showing me. Then you met somebody who, if you look at all the markers of what people say is a twin, right? That person hit it, and you were like madly, completely in love. And literally as quickly as it started, it stopped, and it like ripped your heart out. But part of that reasoning is because you sat in a stagnant position when it came to relationships, that you had a particular window that they had to demolish, right? They had to get rid of that gateway, so they had to throw you in energetically at this accelerated rate because, like, you held still in your position for far too long, right? It's kind of like that. I got hurt. You get hurt once, and then you never say that's going to happen again. It's never going to happen again, right? So you spell casted that out, and you held on to that belief for such a long time until they started to make you peel back that layer of, like, understanding why you went through that relationship and why you had to take on those toxicities or that level of protection, right? And so you're essentially tapping into that inner rebel, right? And as you're doing that, your passion is coming back, right? The downloads, the vibration of insight, the tapping into your guides, like all of the things that people were trying to do to you, you essentially dissolved everything for them, to them, and around them, right? It's like you dropped a nuke bomb and you said, everybody that's been fucking with my energy needs to leave. Boom. And that ripple of energetic frequency that you did, and like I said, this could be happening, it could be something that you're doing now, but that like transformation of stepping into like this gold light, right? This high priestess hierophant energy, right? Alchemist energy, like it opened you up, and you're going to start seeing like 5-5 and 11-11 everywhere, like everywhere. It created the window for you to literally jump into a different paradigm or a different gate of like your higher self, right? Like something happened where you were able to like flip the switch, and you said, fuck this, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not, like, I'm holding space, but I'm not waiting anymore. And whenever you did that, like, your guides heard you say that, and it's kind of like whatever was impossible has became possible, because you were like, fuck it, I'm not taking my reality as my current situation. Like, it's not happening. Like, people come, people go, I understand that, but like, I am not giving up on myself, right? And like, so as you named it, as you claimed it, you essentially like solidified a new pathway for your abundance. Like it's kind of like, this is the energy you want going into the next 20 years, right? So wherever you're falling short in your current reality, where you're still like slumping, like ask yourself, like, hey, what would it take? How do I need to get there? Like, what is it, right? And honor what's coming up. Don't scrutinize it, right? Don't beat a dead horse. Like, ask yourself, like, God, show me. Open my eye. Let me see truth. Like, if it's not this lifetime, cool. If it was somebody else's manipulation of your energy, ask for truth. Ask for them to show you. And you're going to start getting those downloads and those insights and that hit. And you're going to start understanding, like, why you picked the path you picked. Why you picked to stay in the loop. It's going to make your throat, like, tweak out, right? Because it's a hard gather to think, wow, like, I essentially was also playing a part in that other person's play, right? Because it's always in an energy exchange, but it was literally so that you could not only step into your own divinity, but that your person could step into their own divinity, right? Is there another one in here, or is that it? Done. Okay. Anything else? Okay. So, sorry, like, yeah. So the solidarity, the isolation was so that you could come into your magical powers, right? It is complicated, right? No two stories are the same. And you had to go through this perspective change so that you could awaken in the way that you awoken, right? And it's all a process. It's all a process to get to the end result. And you have to... You had to see all oh, that's weird. They just said you had to see all aspects of all individuals because the play is not going to change. However, like, your energetic frequency is going to pull out a different perspective of the individual, right? So they're no longer operating out of that other state of being. And so, like, as you take ownership and you release, like, what has been, you just say, I am gained and I see what is going to be, right? You're giving that acknowledgement of the pathway of all of the lessons that you've had to take on in this life, right? In all the other lifetimes, maybe you have access to be able to see those fragments and those soul fragments. And I mean, hey, you could be getting a wake-up call. You could be getting an alarm. There could be some kind of internal guidance to get you to that state. So within a transcendental realm of your soul, there are endless universes. I think we just talked about the different paradigms that you operate out of earlier, right? Each inconceivably vast and at the same time inconceivably small. Even in the tiniest particle and the subatom matter, there is an endless expansion. Creation is cosmic motion picture in which you are both the director and the actor. I think I talked about that also. You look within and express outwardly the endless waves of love within you. May your love embrace the earth and fill all creation. So I would say that burst is something that I would utilize when you're pushing out energies in your frequency. And I would pull in that gold into the aura, right? And just release all the stuff that you've been holding on to from your past lessons, from your past insight. And if you're getting headaches and migraines and like pools where people just flash into your brain, right? Let's disconnect all of those cords. Let's clear out the creative space, and let's release that contract that's on the shoulder, right? Because you don't need that anymore. Those are all lessons that served a purpose, but they're no longer needed as you move forward. So throughout the week, month, they just said, you will see 232 and 555 and 1111, and these are going to be upgraded numbers, right, that are going to get you balanced, and allow you to upgrade what you need so that you're no longer feeling challenged. You're no longer feeling scrutinized by the internal guidance of self and others, right? It's just going to burn out of their space. Any humiliation that you've received, or where you have felt threatened, and you've been put in fight or flight, like all of those are just going to dissolve, wash away. Like it's no longer part of your reality, right? You step into peace, you step into serenity, you step into Eden, you step into a state of surrender, right? And write out those things that are still keeping you from that pathway. If there is something in your space that is, needing diplomacy, or safe passage, or obstacles are coming up, like ask, how do I get back to a state of surrender? Where do I find my neutrality? How can you help me do that? And like tap into that like quietness of like the higher self, and truly like challenge and say, I only want to hear from 100% light. I only want to hear from my higher self. I don't want even the frequency of anything outside of me right now, because it's time for me to get into space with myself, right? And when you set those kind of boundaries, like spirits outside of you cannot impede. Like they are commanded to detach, because the truth is the spirit that is incarnated on the physical plane is the highest vibration of all things. And so like this is giving you that insight and that permission to like step into your own power, right? Understand and speak it into life, what you demand from your environment, and understand that you are a creator, right? And no, you are destined for more. Like you would not feel it if it would not be yours. Like you are meant to step into that aligning of self, that aligning with another, that blending and amalgamation, that damn word, they love using it, right? Where you are becoming one with your counterpart, where the soul and the essence here's the thing, you guys have never been separated. You are meant to come together in this lifetime. It's part of the reason why it's all over my board, right? Like, so give homage to that. Know that you are worthy of having a divine love that like is explosive and kismet and mindful. And I mean, at some point I may do retreats, right? For counterparts that only fall in this category. And honor it. Honor the journey. Forgive yourself for never settling. Right? Because it's a lonely fucking journey. It's a lonely journey. And you're in the home stretch. So, if I was to tell you that tomorrow's your day, how would you wake up? How would you move for the rest of today? I want you to think about that, right? Because it literally is a pivot. You have a choice to respond to the world however you desire. The only difference is you have gifts. You have had insight on how to heal, how to elevate, how to come into union with self. You will have the knowledge and the power and the fortitude of how to come into union with another, right? and opening up that telepathy and opening up that finite communication and that energy healing and the understanding, like, it's funny, they're showing me like thermodynamics, I don't know, like epigenetics, like you name it, right? And maybe you guys are going to start playing with this stuff. Maybe you're going to start exploring this stuff. Maybe you're going to start understanding, like, whoa, I'm supposed to be doing something completely different and following impulse. Like, however this next seed of ownership is going to come for you, it is, right? And your soul is advancing. And this is essentially new year energy, right? So hold on to that energy and allow yourself to truly release the stuff that is no longer serving you, because it begins whenever you decide to say, yo, today's the day and I'm taking a step forward. And that is literally like what will cause the rebellion, what will cause the change, what will cause the remembering, right? And it's all about like getting to the point where you are aligned with your tribe, you're aligned with your prosperity, you're aligned with like your community, and your energy speaks volumes, right? Like your words don't have to say anything, like your energy announces yourself. Like it can be like to where you're creating your reality instantaneously. And it's never too little or too big. It's however you deem your process to be, right? Whatever you deem is your truth, it will become. And so get into the state of playing, right? Get into the state of journaling, get into the state of writing, get in a habit of saying, you know, I want to visualize how I'm going to wake up in the morning and how I'm going to feel reading on a patio, right? And like feel that and allow yourself to like feel the sun, like hit your body. And like, how does that bring this reset, this like burst of energy, this creative space, right? Where you are getting into alignment with the creation of like the guidance, I don't know, your mind power. Yeah. Surrender it and like allow it to unfold, like play the game of what if, like let it unfold as it needs to and see what comes, right? I'm going to leave that there. If something in this resonated with you, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. For those of you that are needing to pull in some energy, I would pick this orange color here because that's what's really sticking out to me. And be well. And until next time, ciao. If you would like a reading, I do have sessions open, and I am doing regular card readings. Information is below. And until next time, ciao.